work, start cell phone car. Me brother on the corner, him a push and car. You know see it's a dance hard, just dance hard. Me sister and me son get locked down for fraud. Bills are piled up, money can't get drawn. And every month them she have to meet the landlord. You know see it's a dance hard, just dance hard. Every ghetto youth really want to be the boss. People stop work, start cell phone car. Me brother on the corner, him a push and
Never has a nation as beautiful as ours been put through so much. Never have a people been so helpless and neglected. Never has the youth of our island been so afraid for their lives. Never has an island such as ours been left to fight for itself. PLPs, these hurtful, hopeless, terrifying times must change. For the last 5 years, our beautiful country has been broken. The murder count is way out of control. Families are hungry, and young people are desperately looking for opportunities where there are none. Yet they claim that we should trust them? Never! This man they call Papa has not been a papa to the people of Exuma. He has not been a papa to the youth of this island. And he has not been a papa to the Bahamas. Papas are supposed to care for their families. Papas are supposed to ensure that their children eat, have comfortable homes, afford the best in education and job opportunities. My question to you, PLPs, did Papa Ingram did that for any of us? Never. Living on this island with such beauty, the glistering seas, the rich soil, the friendliest people, yet our cries are not a concern. Yet our concern are not his priorities. He seems more concerned about the new lopsided digging up again roads in Nassau. Well, Mr. Prime Minister, we can't put ketchup and mustard on the roads. This makes me wonder. What have we in Exuma done for such bad treatment? Then my mind goes back to 2007 when the now Prime Minister told a large crowd of Exumians that if they did not vote for him in the upcoming election, Exuma would punish. And guess what, PLPs? He was a man of his word. He did not bother to pay any attention to us. As a young, intelligent individual, who is Papa fooling? Yet still, just a few weeks ago, he comes back to the island. And what does he promise to the people that he have neglected for so long? Cable television. That's right, not jobs, not hotels, but cable to watch him on. You ain't serious, Papa. PLPs, this can't be anymore. We need to ensure that Exuma is being put first. And we need to offer Mr. Morse the support and help that he needs with a caring leader, a loving leader, the best leader. And that leader is the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie and the PLP. As a young liberal, I know we are ready to put this careless Papa out of town. We are ready for Papa to ring the bell. PLPs, PYLs, are you ready? We'll join the PLP and let's distinguish this torch once and for all. PLP! PLP! Thank you. Good night.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Let them know that Exuma gone all the way. PLP. Somebody say, oh yeah!
Let them see the gold rush.
Hey. Woo! I gotta take this opportunity to welcome the wife of the incoming Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let's hear it for Lady Christie, please. Yeah.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just declaring victory in Exuma right now. Look at your neighbor and say, we declare victory in Exuma. And so it gives me great pleasure to welcome our first speaker, who's going to carry Southern Shores in Nassau. Let's hear it for the incoming member of parliament for Southern Shores. Let's hear it for Ken Dawson.
Ready, set, Dorset. Be ready, set, Dorset. Be ready, set.
PLP! 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 Mr. Party Leader and Mrs. Christie, Mr. Deputy Leader and Mrs. Davis, Mr. Chairman Bradley Roberts, and the man of the hour, Mr. Anthony Moss and Mrs. Moss, fellow candidates, stalwart councillors, and to the great men and women of Exuma, a pleasant good evening to each and every one of you. I bring warm greetings from Southern Shores. My brothers and sisters, Southern Shores has gone gold, and by the looks of things tonight, Exuma gone gold too.
Gold rush, let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone.
Hey! My brothers and sisters, tonight we celebrate the official campaign launch of our friend, your Member of Parliament, and I hope very soon the re-elected Member of Parliament for Exuma, Mr. Anthony Tony Moss. Exuma, I know you remember the years when the PLP were in power between 2002 and 2007. Those were great years for Exuma. Construction was booming. Jobs were readily available. Taxi drivers were not cut out of the tourism industry. And things were going well under Perry, Gladstone, Christie, and the PLP. Well, Exuma, I hear that you are hurting badly. Are you tired of this F&M government? Are you voting PLP? Well, turn to your neighbor and repeat after me. It ain't long now. Exuma, are you ready for the victory?
We ready now.
Well, we need you to work with Tony Moss. We need you to go door to door with him. We need you to convince your neighbors and friends to register to vote and vote PLP.
We ready now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Right Honourable Perry Gladstone Christie has assembled a new generation of leaders to help our seasoned and experienced leaders change the direction this country is headed. We have innovative ideas to address the nation's most pressing and vexing issues, and we certainly have the energy and expertise to deliver on what we promise. Exuma, approximately 40,000 jobs have been lost over the past 5 years. Crime is out of control. Investors have lost confidence in this F&M government. There have been record levels of home foreclosures. There has been record levels of taxation, creating even more economically depressed times for our brothers and sisters. There has been record levels of murder, ladies and gentlemen. There has been record levels of youth unemployment, 34% under this F&M, and a record level of debt. Those are the records the F&M need to address in this campaign. Their record of failure and mismanagement. Their record of failed leadership. Every single member of the Free National Movement should hang their head in shame. The pain and suffering they have caused the Bahamian people is truly unbelievable. It is truly unthinkable. Exuma, it is your time. It is time for a government to prioritize job creation and economic opportunities for Bahamians. It is time for the nation's economy to be restored. It is time for the PLP. PLP, are you ready for the victory?
We ready now.
Are you voting PLP? My fellow Bahamians, times are hard. Times are rough. But they ain't gonna get better under this F&M administration. So we need the PLP and we need Perry Gladstone Christie. So Exuma, if you want to benefit from our Family Island Modernization Program, where contracts will be given to Bahamians to construct and repair docks, bridges, roads, airports, and seawalls, vote PLP. If you want a government that will increase work permit fees for jobs which there are qualified Bahamians to perform, and ensure that companies who have work permits issued apprentice Bahamians to be able to take over those jobs, then vote PLP. If you want access to land on concessionary terms and technical support to create boutique resorts in Exuma, vote
PLP. If you want reduced electricity costs, then I ask you, I urge you to vote PLP. My brothers and sisters, Perry Gladstone Christie did a wonderful job in the 5 years that he served as Prime Minister and did well for Exuma. He will do it again. Exuma, we need you to believe again, just as we believe in you, just as we believe in the Bahamas. And so I say to you, we need each and every one of you to know that there is no other way but to go all the way with the PLP. PLP! PLP! PLP!
All the way, PLP, all the way, PLP, all the way.
Thank you very much, Ken Dossett. He is going to bring home PLP victory in Southern Shore. Nice. I want you all to welcome with me the sitting member of Parliament for Elizabeth. We call him Ryan, the Lion, the Giant, the something, the other. I don't know where you'll be next, but I know he's going to be returned as the next member of Parliament for Elizabeth. Let's hear it from Ryan Pinder.
Ryan Pinder, that other brother switching. F and M be slunking, F and M be dissing. So PLP, bro, we gon' win this election. F and M be joking, F and M ain't checking.
Oh, Exuma! Look at that gold rush tonight. The running man running scared. Fenton no more, need more. You better stay in Nassau. What I see tonight, you are finished. And I'll tell you what, they thought they was going to give you Ragged Island. We just come from there. Listen, that gone gold too. So you ain't got no shot. No shot. Fenton, no more, need more. Go back to Nassau. To my party leader and deputy leader who are here tonight, and the chairman who's here tonight, to all of my parliamentary colleagues, and most importantly, to all my Exuma brothers and sisters, good night tonight. Now, I've come to tell you one thing before I start. Lizzie is on lock. You hear me? Lizzie is on lock. Now tonight we are all here to support my colleague in the House, Tony Moss. All of us come to support this man, a good man. Now you see, in 2 years I've gotten very close to Tony, because me and him, we represent two of what I call the 3 E's in the House of Assembly. See, we all sit together. Tony Moss of Exuma. We got South of Luthra. And we got Elizabeth, the 3 E's representing tonight. So I know Tony Moss is your man here in Exuma. Your man who's going to make the running man, Fenton no more, need more, run back home. Let me hear it for Tony. Let me hear it for Tony. Oh, you hurt my ears, you're so loud. Now we're here to collectively support Tony in his quest to be the 3-time Member of Parliament for Exuma. But we're also here to deliver a message of the PLP, a message of how the PLP will build the Family Islands and provide opportunity for each and one of you. See, this is based upon Mr. Christie, the next Prime Minister of this Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Give Mr. Christie a round of applause.
Perry is the man.
Oh, yeah. Based on his strategy of island development, Family Island development, based on his Anchor Resort project development plan that he put in place last time around. And in very short order, we will build that again as the next government of this country. See, economies should be developed in the Family Islands. Developed in the Family Islands for each and one of you. They're done in each respective location, allowing the residents of each Family Island to participate in all aspects of the economy of the island. Not just one part of it, but all parts of it. See, I like to use the fishing industry as an example. An industry where a number of Family Island communities are instrumental in the development of that industry. Bahamians throughout all the Family Islands participate in this, creating income and opportunities for each and one of them.
See, the success of the fishing industry is not based solely on good fishermen. And the development of the economies in the various family islands is not solely based on fishing. See, successful, what I call full circle economies, and fishing is an example, take into account every component. They build the boats. They sell the engines for the boats. They repair the engines for the boats. They wholesale the product. They process the product. They package the product. They export the product. That is a full circle economy that each and every settlement, each and every family island needs, and we will push that as the next government of this Commonwealth of the Bahamas. For each and one of you, Exuma, let me hear Exuma, each and every one of you. By developing what I call these full circle economies, it provides each and every one of you opportunities to succeed. Each and every one of you to have that economic viability and ownership in your communities. Developing this full circle economy in the family island allows all sectors to grow, each and every one of them. You see, this model should be translated in a variety of different industries. Some examples are agriculture, where you might farm, then you might juice, and then you might package the fruit, then you might export it. See, this is the vision that a PLP administration has for the family islands. This is the vision we have for you, Exuma. This is the vision Tony Moss has for you, Exuma. Let me hear it. Let me hear it for Tony Moss. Let's get rowdy tonight, Exuma. Let's go, Exuma.
Believe in the Bahamas.
Boy, the votes out there tonight, they might as well call election tomorrow. Because this thing is over. O-V-A.
Ring the bell, bing-a-ling-a-ling. Ring the bell, bing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
With the vision and the ideas of Tony Moss representing Exuma and Ragged Island, and the leadership we have, and Mr. Perry Gladstone Christie, the next Prime Minister of the Bahamas, I see bright days for Exuma. I see bright days for Exuma. Let me hear it, Exuma. I see bright days for Exuma. So as we charge on, because his time is very short, I hear he may even ring the bell at the end of this week. Well, if he's ready to ring the bell, we're ready to go. You hear me? If he's ready to ring the bell, we're ready to go. So what I want you to do, each and every one of you, I want you to work hard for my good friend Tony. I want you to show up to the polls bright and early, because by 1 o'clock on election day, I want Exuma and Ragged Island in the bag. I want it in the bag. Because I want the 3 E's to return to the House of Assembly. Let's put Exuma back. Let's put Elizabeth back. And we're going to put a Lutra there. That's going to be 4 E's, because we take in the north and the south. PLP! PLP!
I'm under the
PLP!
rock, it's the PLP. I'm under the rock.
That's it for Ryan Binder. Can you feel the victory, man? Oh, yeah. It's a joy tonight to have in the house our chairman, Mr. Bradley Roberts. Y'all know him, right? Y'all know he don't play. So now let's make some noise for our chairman, Bradley Roberts.
Jolly gray, your boat, need it bailing out.
PLPs, how you feeling tonight? Protocol having been established, it is always a special joy to be here in Exuma. Firstly, I wish to tell you that the Progressive Liberal Party will form the next government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Gold rush, let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone. Hey. Oh, they scared, the PLP coming, PLP coming.
Secondly, I want to tell you that Perry Gladstone Christie will be the next Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Perry is the man.
Exuma, I am here primarily to ask your support to re-elect Anthony Morse as your Member of Parliament. Exuma, you will recall that your economy was alive and well when Hubert Ingram and the FNM were voted into office in May 2007. Exuma, your sons and daughters were employed and you were able to provide for themselves and their families and was able to generate some savings as well. Exuma, as a result of the progressive policies of the Christie-led PLP government, you were able to provide employment opportunities for Bahamians all around the Bahamas and here in particular Exuma. Exuma, you will surely recall the announcement made by Hubert Papa Clown Ingram without any consultation proclaimed that Exuma was able to stand on its own 2 feet and refused to extend the Family Island duty-free status for Exuma, which expired on December 31st, 2007. You will recall this was the incentive that allowed Exuma to thrive and prosper. As a result of the discontinuation of the duty-free incentives for Exuma, Papa Clown and the FNM drove a sharp, rusty dagger through the economic heart of Exuma. A well-known Long Island contractor told me he lost millions of dollars as he was obligated to deliver on executed contracts based on the duty-free status. Constructions by Exumians and second homeowners virtually came to a halt. Construction jobs, as a result, evaporated. Exuma, we are fully aware of the pain and the suffering you have been enduring as a result of the stupid policies and the decisions of Papa Clown and the FNM government.
It's unbelievable.
Clearly, Exuma, Hubert Ingram and the FNM have failed to put the interests of Bahamians first. Now let me go to another significant reason why I'm here tonight. The record is clear that the South Beach constituency has been stuck with a do-nothing, posturing and trifling MP who is not only a stranger to the truth, but is a serial failure and a terrible member of parliament. Exuma, Fenton Nemore, whom the people of South Beach strongly rejected, was right there smiling and cheering Papa Clown on and helped guide the rusty sword that Hubert Ingram drove through the economic heart of Exuma. Yes, Fenton Nemore has no interest whatsoever then in the welfare and well-being of Exumians. And now he has come to ask for your vote and your support. Exumians, the PLP government finalized plans for the construction of a badly needed new clinic, mini hospital here in Georgetown. And the National Insurance Board, then headed by Philip Brave Davis, the now deputy leader of the PLP, approved funding for that project. Hubert Papa Clown, supported by Fenton Nemore, put the project on hold, and after almost 5 years, they are promising to finally build the clinic. Again, Exumians, the PLP government also finalized plans for the construction of a long overdue new Ellen Coakley High School. The property was cleared, you will recall, and the architect was instructed to invite bids for that project. This project was also a victim of the dreaded stop, review, and cancel policy of this outgoing FNM government. The FNM terrible mismanagement and rip-off of the New Providence roads was but one of many. Exumians, you will also recall on January 4th of 2011, just last year, a $325,000 contract was signed for the Georgetown dock
with much fanfare with an Exuman contractor who had no prior experience in building or repairing docks. Your Member of Parliament, Anthony Morse, drew this to the government's attention and they ignored him. The projected completion date was 90 days thereafter. After the contract signing, at the contract signing, Fenton Nemore boasted that he was happy that a native of Exuma was awarded the contract. Fenton endorsed the contract signing, knowing full well that the contractor had no prior experience. So here we are, some 15 months later, money spent and wasted on the dock. And it is in a much worse state than it was when they started to do the work.
It's unbelievable.
Like the New Providence Road Improvement Program, only God knows when that dock is going to be repaired. This, my brothers and sisters, is yet another example of terrible, indecent mismanagement by Fenton Nemore and the hapless F&M government. My brothers and sisters, still yet another example. In Fenton Nemore and Earl Helicopter DeVoe, collaborating on the approval to allow dredging at Belle Island, following a donation of $1 million to the Bahamas National Trust. It is clear as day that they both turned their backs on the environment. Hubert, Earl, and Fenton Nemore are public enemies of the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, I offer one final example of negligence and ineptitude of the Bobbsey twins of Fenton Nemore and Earl DeVoe. These two men ran BEC into the ground, resulting in increased BEC rates compared to the PLP's record of reducing rates. There has been major blackouts under Nemore, and it continues today because the F&M government has failed to maintain existing BEC power plants and failed to keep new ones to buy new ones to meet the increased power demands. Right here in Exuma Keys, Farmers Key was off for several days last week and this week. And also in other parts of Eleuthera, Exuma, the same problem has occurred. The dismal state of BEC was confirmed by the government's BEC-appointed consultants, who disclosed that political interference has resulted in low operating efficiencies and misuse of the Bahamas Electricity Corporation. More than a year has elapsed since the government signed a memorandum of understanding with the Chinese construction for a port and a bypass highway here in Exuma. You remember when Hubert came down there with big fanfare and so forth? Exuma, have you heard anything since that project was announced? I can tell you, Exuma, that Papa Clown has executed a contract which was announced at the same time for North Abaco Port and Bypass Road and a bridge between Little and Great Abaco. Exuma, I invite you seriously to consider returning Anthony Morse as your Member of Parliament. Tony is an honest and trustworthy man. He is a family man and he is a deacon in his church. His record of public service transcends politics, as he has made significant contribution to the civic life and overall development of Exuma. Some of his civic and community involvement includes membership in the Exuma Basketball Association, the Exuma Softball Association, the Junkanoo organization here, and he's president of the Commonwealth Spiritual Convention. Exuma, many lives have been touched and possibly impacted by Anthony. His leadership, sincerity, and especially his generosity with his time and talents with the youth make him a very attractive candidate. We fully expect that Exuma and Ragged Island will remain with the PLP family. And what I saw at the airport this evening and what I see here this evening, I am assured that Exuma is voting PLP. Vote Anthony Morse. Vote PLP all the way. Thank you very much and good night.
Believe in the Bahamas.
Absolutely. Say it again, y'all.
Let's hear it for our chairman one more time, Bradley Roberts. I just need all the young voters to say, hell yeah. If you voted PLP, touch your neighbor and say yes. Yeah. Are you ready to vote? Are you ready to vote PLP? Somebody say hell yeah. It's my delight tonight to welcome to this lectern the next member of parliament, or who is the sitting member of parliament for Fox Hill. And they're going gold tonight. Let's hear it for the member of parliament for Fox Hill, the Honorable Fred Mitchell.
Believe in the Bahamas.
Absolutely. Say it again.
PLP. Great. Good to be here, my brothers and sisters. I'm proud to be here this evening to speak in support of my colleague and friend, Anthony Moss, the Member of Parliament for Exuma. He has been faithful, loyal, and a trusted son of Exuma. He has stayed the course. Now, you know there's a song that goes, tell I ain't here, he better come now. You know that song, tell all I ain't here, he better come now? They're singing that in South Beach tonight. So when he comes calling to your house, you tell him. That's what they're singing in South Beach. He is an advocate. Anthony Moss is an advocate for the cause of Exuma and the people of Exuma. He will be a valued member of the team that has a vision for the future of Exuma. He is part of the Progressive Liberal Party's team. The times have changed since 2007. The times are trending toward the Progressive Liberal Party. And I reflected on this as I was rushing through the airports and in the various business houses trying to get something done in a rush through Nassau, Fort Lauderdale, and in Freeport. Everywhere I met Bahamians, and they tried to bend over backwards as soon as they learned that I was from the PLP. This is what you call goodwill. You cannot function in the Bahamas without goodwill. And throughout the Bahamas, the PLP is experiencing goodwill. And that goodwill will turn into votes on election day, and we expect to be the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas on general election day. We are counting on you and Exuma to put Exuma into the winning column. Mr. Moss will be part of a team working to put in place a livable wage for the workers at Sandals and Exuma. We hope to fight for an increase in the minimum wage so that it at least matches the government's minimum wage. And we want to make sure that all Exumians have a livable wage at that Sandals property. Without a doubt, the Georgetown dock must be repaired. The duty-free exemptions for construction have to be reconsidered. You must ask our opponent, when he comes, how could anyone in Exuma vote for the FNM after the FNM came to office and canceled the duty-free exemption and wrecked the construction industry in Exuma? That alone means you should not be voting for the FNM. They single-handedly wrecked this economy. Then there is the new port that has to be built, the new bridge that has to be put in at the ferry leading to Little Exuma. There should be two bridges, one going and the other coming, and it should have the ability to swing open for local boat traffic and to take heavy equipment. The bridge, the water must come, the bridge must come, the cable must come. All of these things the PLP will ensure are done. We will fight together to put young people back to work. 34% of the people under 25 are unemployed. And we promised to work together to try and create 10,000 jobs for our young people. Now, I've heard people asking about whether this is achievable. Bahama promises by the year 2014 to produce 6,000 to 8,000 jobs. So that's 6,000 to 8,000 of the 10,000 done. The only question is, when the project is ready in 2014, will Bahamians be trained and up and running and be able to take those jobs? So the responsibility of the PLP will be to ensure that the training programs are in place, so when the jobs become available in 2014, they'll be able to get those jobs at Bahama. Contrary to the deceitful rally commentary by the Prime Minister about doubling investment in education, the amounts increased to 22 million per year, or 110 million we are proposing to invest in education over the next 5 years. Scholarship opportunities will increase for those in college, and we will fight to make tuition free for the College of the Bahamas and the University of the West Indies. And all of this foolish talk from the F&M of the PLP did nothing, saying that we didn't build one school in 5 years. The PLP constructed 500 classrooms in 5 years, more classrooms than all the schools built by the F&M in 15 years. The PLP also started 6 schools. 6 schools. The F&M canceled Salina Point, Low Sound, Fresh Creek, Heritage Junior in Freeport, and then they continued Anatole Rogers and T.G. Glover. That's what the PLP did.
And they want me vote for them? Man, they gotta be crazy.
The only school that they built was the Sister Mary Patricia in Freeport, contrary to what their propaganda says. Finally tonight, I want to express my concern for the regulatory ability of our country to oversee the non-Bahamas Air airlines. My colleagues and I have to depend on these services just like you to travel up and down the country. I asked the question in the House of Assembly following the death of my friend Nelson Hanna in a plane crash about the ability of the government to regulate these airlines. It took them 2 years to answer the questions, and the answers were unsatisfactory. There was a plane crash on the 9th of March in Long Island, and I want to salute the skill of the pilot Clotaire Pierre. His heroic action stopped a disaster from happening in this country. I am advised that as a result of what happened, there's been an aircraft FAA airworthiness directive to inspect the particular parts of that airplane. As he was going into Long Island, there was a part which jammed, and he could have lost control of the plane, and it was only his skill and ability of 9 years of flying that caused a disaster not to happen. It was an act of God, truly. Recently, I sent a note to the Minister of Aviation advising him of complaints about airlines and airline safety in this country. Too many operators are flying around these multi-engine aircraft without co-pilots. There is the complaint that the government does not allocate enough resources to Flight Inspectorate Division of the Civil Aviation Department. The government must provide the resources to ensure the safety of the flying public. I believe that the PLP will put the resources to make and keep flying safe in our Bahamas. Let me thank you for listening to me tonight. Please, please, let all of us join, no matter what happened over the last 5 years. Anthony Moss is a good man. All the people who were saying they had issues with Mr. Moss, now is the time to put those issues behind you. Join hands and vote and support Anthony Moss, your next member of Parliament.
That's Fred Mitchell, Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, and he's going to be returned as the Member of Parliament for Fox Hill. And then it's a delight to have in our company tonight the incoming Member of Parliament for South Beach, Cleola Hamilton. She's here tonight. And we've also got Dr. Knowledge with us tonight. Somebody say hi to Doc. Y'all got to get used to this now, because it ain't long now the PLP will win the next general election. So y'all got to get used to this gold rush, you understand? And when the votes are being counted in West End, all I want here, Obi. Let's welcome the Member of Parliament for West End, Obadiah Hercules Wood's.
Obi, with wisdom and grace.
much. The next Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie. And Mrs. Christie, our next Deputy Prime Minister, Brave Davis. My parliamentary colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I've been coming to Exuma for many years now, for many rallies, and this is the biggest crowd I've seen from the 1980s. This crowd for the PLP is the biggest crowd I've seen.
Oh, they scared, the PLP coming, PLP coming.
The last time I heard, there was someone down here wearing red, and they said that they were going to give you cable by Easter. Well, Easter next week, you got cable yet? You can get it? It ain't gonna happen. And then you had Hurricane Irene, and now the dock ain't fixed. You can have Regatta soon, and what you can do? Look at that dock now. And then they tell you that they care about Exuma. Well, tell the taxi drivers who can't get more work from the hotel because you have a difficulty. And then on top of that, they tell you that they are going to give you more bills on top of the bills that you have. You're paying more for insurance. You're paying more to license your cars. And they say they care about the people. That is why the PLP is the party, and we are inviting people all over this country to invest in gold. Buy gold now, because every day the prices go up, and every day that is where you're going to get a return on your investment, better education, you're going to get rid of this crime problem, and you're going to have jobs and opportunities. It is the PLP.
Gold rush, let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone.
In Grand Bahama, where I'm from, you know that that is gold country now. When they said they wanted 5 in Grand Bahama, it can't happen because the whole island has gone gold.
Oh, they scared, the PLP coming, PLP coming.
And my friends in West End and in Bimini tonight are watching you here in Exuma, so you better say hi to my people. Because in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, that is a gold mine. And come election night, there's only one name you're going to hear, Wilshcombe, 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 because we're winning our seat. And when we count our seat in West Grand Bahama, we must count Exuma, because we're going with Tony Moss. Perry Christie made Tony Moss a candidate, and he served this constituency well. And then he made him the Deputy Speaker of the House, a strong leader that showed determination. And Tony Moss also was the chairman of the Mortgage Corporation, and when he was chairman, what happened? All sorts of good things happened for people who needed help. Tony Moss cares about people. He loves his people. He's a strong man, and he doesn't back down. That is why, come election, it must be Moss for Exuma and Ragged Island. And so tonight all over this country, the people of the Bahamas are saying it is time again for the Progressive Liberal Party. And so come election, it's PLP all the way. PLP! PLP! PLP!
Oh, I just like it, I like it, I like it. Look at your neighbor. Do you like the goal? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, man, the man who's responsible for causing Papa just to hold back from ringing the bell is here. And so all we want Papa to do is ring the I want to tell it so bad, but listen, I want you to make some real noise for the incoming Deputy Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let's hear it for our Deputy Leader, Philip Brave Davis. He's got to cause Papa to ring the...
Be brave, change our
Ring the bell, sping-a-ling-a-ling. Ring the bell, sping-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
How are we doing, Exuma? Good evening, Exuma. Are you ready, Exuma? Are you ready to help us get rid of this worthless, uncaring, scandalous F&M government?
We ready now.
Ready? Are you ready for them to ring the bell? My party leader, the Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, the next Prime Minister of this Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and Mrs. Christie, to all my parliamentary colleagues here tonight, and to my parliamentary colleague Anthony Morse, who I expect for you to fully return again when the bell is rung and the numbers are counted, to Anthony Morse. How you say about that?
Ring the bell, sping-a-ling-a-ling. Ring the bell, sping-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Yes, Team Exuma, I know that you'll agree with me that loyalty to voters are in a rarity in the F&M. Loyalty is a must in politics, for if you cannot be loyal to the people who elect you, then why should you then be re-elected? I mention this so that when you see Fenton, no more, Nemo, ask him why he abandoned the good people of South Beach. Ask him bluntly, why did you run from South Beach?
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
I will tell you why he ran. He ran from South Beach because he was an appalling poor, absent representative from that constituency. It is as simple as that. He failed to keep his promises and left the voters in South Beach because he knew they were going to vote him out and vote for our fine lady, Cleola Hamilton, who is here present here tonight. That's why
Ask me why I run. Tell you why I run. Say the woman at the door had a doggone shotgun. That is why I run.
Running away from the people who elected them. But the truth of the matter is that they are all running. They're running away from their record of admitted failure. They run because, Exuma, they have delivered policies that mismanage our finances, allowing national debt to climb to $4.6 billion. They run, Exuma, because they've delivered unemployment, the highest in a long time, 40,000 people now out of work, and more than 34% of young people unemployed. That's why they run. They run because they delivered unconscionable tax increases. Increasing taxes on cars, gas, licenses, textbooks, children's underclothes, and on baby pampers. Even the Holy Bible didn't spare their taxes. And what is worse is this. They don't believe in Bahamians. They don't believe in you. Ask me how I know. This is how I know. The plans we left in place to construct a mini hospital right here on Exuma, the plans were passed 5 years ago. They were drawn and was here to be built. What did they do? They didn't even look at it. They didn't touch it. I want to assure you, though, Exuma, that mini hospital will be built. The Georgetown dock is in need of repairs. They signed a contract in January of 2011. And today what is happening? The repairs still not done. And why? Because they don't believe in you. They don't care about you. You know something? Papa Clown was in Exuma on February 27, 2011. Remember that date? When he was here? And he brought his team of Chinese engineers. He promised to commence the construction of a new highway by December 2011. Well, Exuma, the date has come and is gone, and still nothing has been done.
I would say the Bahamas, I'm a failure. I have failed thee.
Simply a mess. Messier than all the rest.
It's on.
You heard my colleague from Fox Hill, Fred Mitchell, speaking about the ferry bridge. That also is in need of repair. But what they do, they refuse to fix it. But let me just say something, Exuma. The PLP
the PLP has its eyes on you. Our eyes are on you. You know why? Because we believe in you. Don't let Fenton no more, Seymour or Nemore do to you what he did to the people of South Beach. Tell him you don't want no reject. You want the real thing. And the real thing is one of Exuma's own favorite sons. And his name is Anthony Moss. He is the candidate that we ask you to send back to the House of Assembly to assist our incoming Prime Minister, Perry Gladstone Christie, when he forms the next government. And make no mistake about it, the PLP will win the coming election again. Now let me just say something, Exuma. You know, sometime in November of 2010, I think it was November 16, 2010, Hubert Alexander Papa Clown Ingram, he called the leaders of Exuma dumb. It's reported in the paper that if someone calling you dumb, you can vote for him. He said they not only dumb, but they grumbling. They grumble and they grumble and they grumble, right? And what they grumbling pollute the environment. That's what Ingram said about you all. That's who you all can vote for.
Simply a mess. Messier than...
He shouldn't be coming here asking you to vote for him. He should be saying sorry for what he called you. He should be asking for forgiveness, not your votes. And make no mistake about it. I say the PLP will win the next election. Our man and your man, Morse, will have the air of Mr. Christie. Morse is ready. I know, because I've seen his passion, I've seen his commitment, and I've seen his determination. And like I say, everywhere I go, Anthony Morse, he know Johnny come lately. He know Johnny come lately. Let me just say something about Papa Clown. He is a desperate man. A man who realizes he's about to lose power. He is about to be voted out of office. He's afraid to call an election. Afraid to return the people. You know what he's scared of? He's afraid to become a common man once again. He's afraid to ring the bell.
Ring the bell, sting-a-ling-a-ling.
That's what he
Ring
did.
the bell, sting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Ring the bell, Papa Clown, so I can put my bell down. And then I can tell you for whom the bell tolls. And talking about being late. Huh? Who late now? Who is late now? Exuma, tell me. All right? Boy, I tell you, Papa is ready, running scared. He knows there'll be no more helicopter rides to see a king or a queen. And in his delusional stupor to cling to power, he has now developed a messianic complex. In fact, you may recall that when Papa Clown fired Kenneth Russell, his Minister of Housing, Russell, who is very close to him, one of his most trusted and loyal friends, said, he is a tyrant. He is a dictator. Is that the kind of leadership we want? Hell no.
Papa was a rolling stone. The F&M only wanna leave us broke. And when they're gone, all they'll leave us is a $4 million loan.
That's what he's done. And look, he doesn't just do that, you know. Look how he has presided over a government that was riddled and rife with corruption. You hear the word? Corruption. Papa Clown here to say, corruption. You remember Earl Helicopter DeVos' scandalous acceptance of free helicopter rides while his ministry was still considering a dredging project right here in Exuma? A protected body of water where you, who are from Exuma, would be arrested if you try to move anything from this. But yet, he's riding around in a helicopter for a man who has to decide whether he should dredge in the same spot.
It's unbelievable.
It's unthinkable. That's them, you know. Bahamians have become second-class citizens in their own country. Then there was a scandal with Chicago Monavie line, where someone was instructed to change the duty on some juice. The juice is called Monavie. That's why I have dubbed him Chicago Monavie line. Ingram's solutions to all these scandals and problems, sweep them under that dirty red carpet. Then the biggest scandal of them all, the one person we call Brent Hot Mix Simonet. He received almost 80% of the work given to subcontractors to Jose Carolone Construction Company. That's the company that's digging up all them roads in Nassau. That project is a nightmare. Roads have been dug up all over the place, crippling small businesses, which were forced to shut their doors and lay off workers. After not meeting last year's deadline, they said it would be completed by January of this year. Then they said it would be pushed off to June of this year. Now it may be completed sometime in 2013, and God knows when it ever will be completed. While the price tag to us Bahamian people moved from 113 million to a striking 206 million, an overrun of approaching $100 million. All that base. And after all that race, they can ask us how we will double the investment in education. My Lord. If we have to choose between education or roads, we in the PLP choose education any day. So when Papa Clown comes around talking about how he has a corrupt-free government, tell him you know the truth. Tell him you know whose hands, feet, and body been in the cookie jar. Tell him you know he does not believe in you. If he did, you wouldn't have these things. For when it comes to doubling the investment in education, he says it cannot be done. When it comes to creating 10,000 new jobs for young Bahamians, he says it cannot be done. When it comes to restoring peace back on our streets, he says it cannot be done. When it comes to attracting new investments to create new 21st century jobs for Bahamians, he says it cannot be done. He says to believe in Bahamians is something that cannot be done. A government where Bahamians need not apply. Well, tonight, Exuma, as we in the PLP lift the hand of Anthony Morse, join me in telling the FNM who doesn't believe in you, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And if you don't believe it, ring the damn bell. Exuma, oh Exuma, the land of my mother's birth. Are you ready for a government that believes in you? Are you ready for a government that will put Bahamians first? Are you ready for a government that will say yes to Bahamians? Then come with us as we move to restore peace to our streets. Come with us as we set a course to put Bahamians back to work. Come with us as we point young Bahamians towards an era of prosperity and growth. Come with us as we build our nation and restore opportunity to thousands of our countrymen and women. Come with us as we restore job opportunities back into this economy and create new businesses, opportunities for all our people. Come with us and send our man, Anthony Morse, back to the Parliament. Believe in the Bahamas as we in the PLP believe in you. And tell Papa Clown, ring that bell. Ring the bell, Exuma. God bless you. And good night.
I'm a soldier in the army. I'm gonna fight for my rights.
That's our Deputy Prime Minister. Y'all get used to that name, eh? Oh, on Friday night, y'all listen to this carefully. On Friday night, we want 20,000 people to be on RM Bailey Park. Just 20 now. Tell your neighbor, just 20. Didn't ask for 30. Just 20,000 we want to be on RM Bailey Park on Friday night. Friday night. Now it's my delight to welcome to the lectern Ethan McKenzie. Ethan McKenzie is going to come and do the introduction of the next speaker.
PLP! PLP! That's what I'm talking about. I'm here tonight to do one thing, and that's to introduce a special man. A man who is one of a kind. The best candidate for Exuma. The Honorable Mr. Anthony Donald Edward Morse. And you all know any parents who would take the time out to give their child that many names, that child could only be destined for greatness. And I'm telling you tonight, this man with a sentence of names is the definition of greatness. And he is capable and ready to take Exuma onto a whole different level. Mr. Morse is a hard worker, and he is always striving for excellence. This man, along with the PLP party, is known to represent the small man, the downtrodden, and will do whatever he can to make sure his people are being treated fairly at all times. We have certain employers on the island who barely pay their employees enough to afford a loaf of bread. And I'm quite sure, you got it right, and I'm quite sure there's something in the Bible that states, man cannot live on bread alone. So I think we need a little something to pay for a pack of sausage too. So, if y'all continue to fool around with those other guys, we will soon have to start wearing potato socks like back in the day. And y'all know some of y'all ain't been jogging in a while, so y'all want to look too right in them. So that's something y'all should keep in mind. This great man has done many things in his tenure as the Member of Parliament in the further development of this beautiful island we call home. Things that the other guys said he didn't do. Things such as job creation for new custom officers, additional immigration officers, additional firemen at the airport, and yes, new security officers for screening at the airport, who after 4.5 years, this government has not established. But ladies and gentlemen, we hired you, and we will establish you. He built and provided homes for many families in the 2 subdivisions, Red Land 1 and 2. He built the new arrival section at the Exuma International Airport. He built a landfill site at Steventon and transformed the Georgetown site as a transfer station. He also reconstructed the clinic in Steventon and renamed it the Lydia Rural Clinic. Cable TV extension, water extension from Georgetown to Roll Town, and from Ember Bay to Rollville, Stuart Manor, Curtis, Bucktown, and Alexander. He rebuilt the bridge in Georgetown, rebuilt the dock in Baradari, built the new dock and paved the road to Scotts Creek, Williamstown. He reconstructed the basketball courts at Stuart Manor, Roll Town, and the Forest, and prepared the surface for a new court in Ramsey. This is why tonight I am indeed proud to present the present Member of Parliament for Exuma on the keys, and the next Member of Parliament for Exuma, the Honorable Mr. Anthony Donald Edward Morse.
F&M party, done. DNA party, done. Independent party, done. Any other party, done. PLP party, PLP party, PLP party, PLP party.
Mr. Party Leader, the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie and Mrs. Christie, Mr. Deputy Leader, my friend and colleague, Philip Brave Davis, the National Chairman, Mr. Bradley Roberts, and all of the executives from the National Progressive Liberal Party here in our country, stalwart councillors, members of parliament, other candidates, the gold team of Exumas and the Rugged Island constituency, PYL Exuma branch, my supporting wife Sheila, and all children. PLPs, good night. PLPs, good night. Now let me just set the record straight. Employees of Sandals, it ain't long now. It ain't long now. You've suffered long enough, and it ain't long now. I'm honored tonight to report to you that we've made it. 5 years have passed, but we've made it. You see, 5 years ago, the now Prime Minister said to us in Exuma, vote for my man says, or you will get nothing. And we got nothing. Exuma, the FNM is a government of deliverance. They promise us nothing, and they delivered nothing. PLPs in Exuma and all across the Bahamas, we ask you to support us as your next government, the next government of the Bahamas, and we will seek to have the minimum wage for Bahamian workers increased within 90 days of coming to office. We will seek to increase the old age pension for the senior people of our country. As your new government, we will provide drinking water for the good people of Baratari and Little Exuma. We will seek to build a new regatta village and a new straw market and provide fire trucks for the island of Exuma. We will cause to be constructed a new government complex and multi-purpose gymnasium. Exuma, we will seek to dialogue with the banks and cause them to provide service for the Exuma Keys. We will seek to repair the docks at Farmers Key, at Black Point, at Steinhill Key to better serve those communities. We will seek to have the airport at Steinhill Key repaved and to provide fencing for that very, very busy airport at Steinhill Key. As a new government, we will seek to have that bridge to Little Exuma reconstructed, not as others would have promised. We will have that constructed. As your new PLP government, we will follow through with the construction of the hospital and primary school. We will provide more funds for education and youth programs for us here in Exuma. Upon coming to office, we will seek to have one of the cruise ships to include Exuma as a stopover visit spot here in Exuma, which will bring fresh and new monies to the economy of Exuma. PLPs, Exuma, PLPs, I must ask you these few questions. Are you working now? Question one, can you say that 5 years of FNM governance has made your life better tonight? Are you making more money now than you were 6 years ago? Is it easier to clothe and feed your families today? What about the cost of living, grocery expenses, gas, electricity, the cost to license your vehicles? Are they costing you more tonight than they were costing you 6 years ago? PLPs, tonight, there is a question that has been asked around town by some of the FNM supporters and workers. And that question that was asked was this: what has Anthony Moss done while he was in office as the Member of Parliament? Young McKinsey told you of some of those things that were done. And I will not repeat those tonight, but I want you to go around and look for yourselves. Look and see what we would have done here in Exuma. PLPs, ladies and gentlemen, all across the sound of my voice, just before I introduce the next speaker, I must say there is something that I have to clear up. I have to say this to Exuma tonight. There is a concern about where Anthony Moss was born. But I want to say, around the table today, sits persons like Brensel Roll from Garden Hills. What has he done for Exuma? There is Carl Bettle, who say he's a descendant from Farmers Key. What has he done for Exuma. There is a Mr. Nemo who soon shall be no more. Say he was born in Exuma. But what has he done? He has messed up a contract for our very own government dock. He has caused them to dredge in our very own London Sea Park. But I stopped by tonight to say that I was born in Abraham's Bay, Mayaguana. But when the election is called, I want to tell them on the first day of election, I will cast a vote in Exuma because I live in Exuma. Ladies and gentlemen, the question that I would want to ask them is, are you serious? Are you serious? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe I have to introduce to you the next leader of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Please stand with me and help me welcome to the podium the Right Honorable Terry Gladstone Christie.
And through it all, you sacrificed. Hello, hello, hello. Sign of a victory. When the rain started to come, I said, even if the good Lord would have it that I do not speak, Exuma has already shown me.
The blessings of the Lord that going down.
Exuma has already shown me that the F&M time has come. They will be defeated in the next general election.
Bring the water out the toad.
So I want to begin by saying, Exuma, how are you tonight? Do you believe in the Bahamas? Are you ready to put Bahamians first? Well, you know something? You look gold. And I see rush. What I say? Rush for gold.
Gold rush. Let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone. Hey! Oh, they scared. The feet.
Look here. My wife come down here with me tonight. And when I see all these young girls here, I say, this is a good time for my wife to come. Come up here a moment, baby. Come up here a moment. But listen. What's important is that I've come here tonight to hold the hand of Tony Moss, Anthony Moss, and to get you to agree with me that he is the next representative for this constituency. Exuma and Ragged Island.
Oh, they scared. The PLP coming.
Smile, baby, smile. When I look at you tonight, I can see that you're ready. You know, Exuma, we have a new generation of candidates in the PLP. And their energy and new ideas are powering this campaign. But just as important are the seasoned PLP leaders like Tony Morse. Is BJ Nottage in the audience? If BJ Nottage is in the audience, please tell him come up here. We have the best team. I've come to tell you tonight, we have the best team, Exuma. Not just the best team running this year, but the best team running any year. We have the best team in the history of this country,
and we are going to form the next government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Gold rush, let them see the gold rush. Bahamas gone. Hey!
Just to let you know, I see Cleola Hamilton in the audience. Cleola, come up here, please. Tony Moss is one of you. He's not on the run like the other fella who has left his constituency in Nassau to come and try to get you to vote for him in Exuma. No, Exuma. Tony Moss lives here with you. He knows firsthand what your likes are all about. Tony Moss is the man for you. Do you agree? Tony Moss knows that you are fed up with a government that doesn't fight for Bahamians. He knows it. I know it. BJ knows it. Brave knows it. Ryan knows it. All of us know it. Cleola knows it. We, the PLP, believe in Bahamians and we believe in you. We are not like the FNM, a need not apply government. Bahamians, you need not apply. You're not qualified. The FNM is telling Bahamians that they deliver. But the truth is, they don't deliver for Bahamians. BJ, come here and tell them hello for me.
When Baintown woman catch a fire, even the devil run. How you feeling? I brought you a message from Baintown. Baintown say, by 12 o'clock, no, let me take you back. On Sunday, I went to church. The reverend in the church say, by May the 24th, I will be the next member of parliament for Bain and Grantstown. He say, and by May the 24th, the PLP will be the next government of the Bahamas. And so I say, when I am the next member of parliament for Baintown, and the PLP is the next government of the Bahamas, Tony Moss must be the next member of parliament for Exuma.
Hide in the bakery yard. You better run, Corporal Turner, run.
Listen, the FNM has failed you in Exuma. They failed in the Bahamas on crime. Murders have doubled since they've come into office. They failed on the economy, Exuma. Our regional competitors, countries in the region, are outpacing us in economic growth and stopover arrivals. They failed to put Bahamians first, Exuma. They haven't protected our fishermen, as you heard Ryan Pinder say, from foreign poaching. And they haven't secured the nation's borders. And they have given contracts to foreigners instead of giving them to Bahamians. But I want to stop talking about their failures. But before I do, Cleola Hamilton, come here for me, please. This is our candidate in South Beach and the next representative for the South Beach constituency. Say hello to them.
PLPs, Exuma, do you believe that this man, Perry Christie, and the Progressive Liberal Party will take the Bahamas to newer heights? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the woman that run Fenton Nemar from South Beach. And this is the woman that will bring South Beach in the arms of the Progressive Liberal Party. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I say to you that Tony Moss is your man. Don't you ever put a mark to Fenton no more. Fenton is gone, gone, gone.
Run, Forrest,
run, Fenton, run.
Run, Forrest, run.
Wonderful. Listen, so let me know what is important about what you have just seen. Brave Davis is going to win. He's going to win his seat. Ryan Pinder is going to win. BJ Nottage is going to win. Cleola is going to win. And you know by damn I'm going to win. But listen now. What you have to tell me, who's going to win Exuma and Ragged Island? Tony Moss. That's what I heard. But listen, let's talk about putting Bahamians first. And let's tell you what we mean when we say putting Bahamians first. It begins with doubling the nation's investment in education and training. Exuma, I may not be a perfect man, but I'm sure I know what this moment in Bahamian history wants and deserves. I know that Bahamians deserve access to the best education, the best training, and the best technology so you can compete in the 21st century. When I see Bahamians out of work or stuck in low-wage, dead-end jobs they can't even depend on, I know that we can do better. And I know a PLP government will do better. Because it starts with investing in people. You know, the Prime Minister strolled into Parliament the other day and told the nation that the road works in New Providence were nearly $93 million over budget. $93 million over budget.
That's what got my car break down now.
And there is no end in sight. So more cars can get breakdown. But he said it so casual as if it was just another day out. Nearly $100 million over budget. Now listen now. Do you think a roadworks project in New Providence that now is costing the Bahamian taxpayer $200 million has nothing to do with Exuma? Do you think the fact that we are $100 million over budget is now going to cost the country $200 million? You think that has nothing to do with you? It has a lot to do with you.
I would say the Bahamas, I'm a failure. I have failed thee.
Simply a mess.
The cost overruns that I'm talking about will be added to the national debt. That's money that you owe, money that your children owe, and money that their children, your children's children, will be paying for. All answers, these all tired answers, are not good enough for Exuma. In the previous term of the PLP, we created 22,000 jobs, and 22,000 jobs for Bahamians. When the PLP create jobs, we are creating them for Bahamians. That's an important difference between the PLP and the FNM. We created 22,000 jobs, and the Bahamas was at the top of the region in economic growth. So I know what I'm talking about. My government will know how to create jobs because we did it before. I also know that the world is changing quickly and that too many Bahamians are getting left behind. So to create the jobs of the future, we have to focus on people. Please, Exuma, I want you to read our party's job creation and empowerment agenda. We've been sharing these ideas with Bahamians since last September. I want you to know what we mean when we say believe in the Bahamas. I want you to hear this. On some of the shirts you're wearing, you see believe in the Bahamas. When we say believe in the Bahamas, we mean starting up what we call career path academies with expanded technical and vocational training and apprenticeship opportunities for 15,000 young people annually. We're talking about putting 15,000 people annually, young people, where there are 34% unemployment in your ranks now. We're talking about putting them through special training programs. And listen, that includes training for jobs in tourism, training for jobs in fishing, training for jobs in industry, training. When we say believe in the Bahamas, we also saying we believe in workers retraining. Training Bahamians who are already on the workforce so they can continue to get new skills,
so they can continue to remain competitive, keep their jobs, and move up the ladder. So remember this. When we talk about doubling our investment in education and training, we're talking about recognize that some of you are working for Sandals, working for other places where you're not paid enough. We're talking about not only trying to deal with that situation, but we're talking about retraining you so you can fit in other jobs that will become now available in the Bahamas. So not just training for students who are going abroad to college, who are going to university, we're talking about training on the job, training here in Exuma. When we say believe in the Bahamas, we mean a major upgrade to the nation's schools. So our children are learning in energy-free schools, energy-friendly schools with the latest technology, and learning from teachers who have access to the best training practices. When we say believe in the Bahamas, we mean contracts for Bahamian companies to construct and repair docks and bridges and roads and seawalls and airports in the Family Islands. We're talking about hiring Bahamian contractors to do the work in the Bahamas. When we say believe in the Bahamas, we mean changing the Hotel Encouragement Act to require hotels to engage Bahamian entertainment and use Bahamian companies for ground transport and room and tour bookings. When we say believe in the Bahamas, we mean supporting Bahamians who want to own a piece of the tourism business, who want to own boutique hotels or bed and breakfast or fishing lodges. In Ragged Island today, we told them that we were told years ago that the bonefish industry can amount to $500 million per year. The bonefish industry has now been allowed by the F&M government to have foreign ownerships in it. We do not agree with that. We believe it's an industry that should be run by Bahamians, for Bahamians, and that money, $500 million a year, should stay in the country with Bahamians who have earned it. We believe in supplying Bahamians with the marketing, technical expertise, so they are able to think big. We don't want you. I remember when I came down here to open the Bank of the Bahamas, and I saw a man who owned a cleaning company in the audience. I said to you, why do you have to have a company from Nassau come down here to Exuma to do cleaning work? 6 weeks after that, 8 weeks after that, a young man who came from Farmers Hill, and the young lady from Farmers Key, husband from Farmers Hill, wife from Farmers Key, they came to me and said, Mr. Christie, we were in the audience. We heard what you said. We have formed a cleaning company. We have 20 employees in that company. Tonight I saw that young man. He says he is now doing work at Sandals. The company is operating. He's very happy. And thank you, Jesus. It was a PLP government that inspired him and gave him the wherewithal to do it.
Won't you hear me? I got a feeling everything's gonna be all right.
So we say to you, think big. Think like him. Yes, you can. Not only Barack Obama can say, yes, we can. Yes, you can. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. And the PLP government will provide affordable land, help you with that, affordable technical marketing expertise, so that you will have, once you can think it, we're going to give you access to the opportunity so you could do it. That's how Exuma is going to grow. It's going to grow through your becoming meaningfully employed in the economy of Exuma. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. When we say believe in the Bahamas, we're talking about major increases in border patrols by the Defense Force to stop foreign poachers, to stop illegal weapons smuggling, and to stop illegal immigration. We're talking about protecting our country in the best interest of our country. Exuma, you need a government that cares about Bahamians all the time, not just at election time. Let me say it again. You need a government that cares about Bahamians all the time,
not just at election time. I know you're frustrated with the situation at Sandals. But where's your prime minister? Is he too busy intimidating and bullying voters? Just like he yelled out a voter's name from a political rally saying the voter was registered in the wrong place. Is he too busy to come out here and find a way forward for Sandals, a way forward for you, where you could be meaningfully and happy with what is happening here in Exuma? Exuma, I know that you're too smart to believe a fellow who neglects you for nearly 5 years and then asks you to call him Papa. But listen, I've come to tell you tonight, Hubert Ingram is not your daddy. I have to presume that you all have your own daddies. And you love them and they love you.
Papa was a rolling stone. The F&M only wanna leave us broke. And when they're gone, they'll leave us.
And remember this now. And remember this. Real daddies don't love you just at election time. They love you all the time. And that's why I'm telling you, the PLP is not an election time government. We are talking to you all the time about doing things for you all the time. The F&M, they talk down to you. The PLP, we're ready to invest in you. It's paradise here in Exuma. Every time I come here, I see it. It's hard to imagine a more beautiful place on earth. But listen, you know and I know, even though this can be likened to a paradise, even though life in paradise is excellent and good, it still can be dead tough if you don't have a job you can count on. No matter how beautiful your country is, if you're broke, if you ain't got no work, if you feel a sense of hopelessness, then you know it is time to bring change. Exuma, we're ready in the PLP to expand tourism in the Bahamas with faith-based tourism. And that means using the great churches of the world in the United States to have them bring their parishioners, their worshipers here. I'll never forget walking into churches in New Orleans, in Atlanta, in Texas, and saying to the church, come to the Bahamas, and watching them as they came to the Bahamas. There are millions of dollars out there waiting to come in. Faith-based tourism, sports tourism, we're going to do all those things. But we're going to include Bahamians, not leave Bahamians behind. Under the current government, stopover arrivals, people who come by air, are at a 27-year low. Now, it's not just about the global economy. If that were true, our regional competitors would be in the same situation. But they are recovering faster than the Bahamas. Bahamas, our regional competitors, are outpacing us. The Prime Minister is trying to bully his way to another victory with one false attack after the other. I said over and over, for a man who, when he finished his law exams, saw me working for the law firm he was Article 2, and then asked me to come and join a firm because he would not have had a name, I would have brought the name to the firm. And the firm became Christie, Ingram and Co. I didn't say Ingram, Christie and Co. Christie, Ingram and Co. And that person today who had to place his faith in my hands could now say, I'm this and I'm that. The devil is a liar. We're going to take him to task this time. We're going to win the next general election. And you in Exuma will lead the way in making sure that happens. Am I right? Remember now, Fenton Nemo is the current member of parliament for South Beach. The current member of parliament is not prepared to subject himself to the same constituency that he's representing. He has decided to come here, not wishing to subject himself to the people of South Beach, who he promised to represent, but now to say to you, forget the fact that I was in South Beach. Give me a chance here. Tell him it can't happen. Tell him it just cannot happen. They want to get you to forget that 1 in 3 young Bahamians are out of work. You all hear what I'm telling you? 1 in 3 young Bahamians are out of work. In Exuma, it might be even more. They're hoping to get you to forget that. They're hoping you'll forget that murders have doubled. They're hoping you'll forget that they've delivered for foreigners, but not for Bahamians. But the PLP is staying focused, Exuma, because this election is about you. It's about reducing violence, creating jobs, and putting Bahamians first. So tonight, I've come here to ask Exuma, are you ready to invest in people? Exuma, do you believe in the Bahamas? Well, Tony Moss, come here, my brother. I now join hands with Tony Moss. Elections will be called very, very shortly. Tomorrow we are in Parliament probably for the last time before the elections. You've shown me tonight that I don't have to ask you if you're ready. You're ready now. You've shown me tonight that you have the inspiration, the enthusiasm, and you are ready to elect this man as your member of parliament. So tonight, it is my formal duty to say to you, we have come here in support of Anthony Moss. He used to be a good-looking fella. We've come here in support of Anthony Moss. Next time we come, and it's going to be very, very soon, we're going to be asking you to come out in record numbers again, because we'll be coming to tell you specifically what we're going to be doing for Exuma. And we'll be coming with our platform. And you will see that we will be bringing relief to Exuma specifically. We're going to return you to the days when we were in power and Exuma was going from strength to strength. We know what we have to do. Until such time, I won't tell you tonight, but when I come back, I'm coming back to tell you, get on board. Get on board. Because we are on our way. PLP! PLP!